Rewatching both of their last 5 fights, I was very, very sure that Alexander Volkanovski was going to go out there and demolish Diego Lopez. However, Diego Lopez is very accurate in the first round. He holds a lot of power. He couldn't finish Dan Ige, couldn't finish Ortega. Looked very human against Ortega in the second and third round. However, I think he finishes Volkanovski by a first round knockout. I think it could be a flatline KO in the first round. Or maybe a Darce choke for Diego Lopez. I can see Volkanovski being very hurt, shooting a takedown and being caught in a Darce choke by Diego Lopez. Volkanovski moves a lot. He jabs and his hand comes right down to his waist every time he jabs. Now I know he knows what he's doing. However, against Lopez, who's got a big shovel uppercut, and if Volk comes in close trying to land, do some dirty boxing like he likes to do, Volkanovski's going to get knocked out. He's going to get knocked out in round 1. The whole time I've been picking Volkanovski. I just think, Volkanovski's just better at fighting. He will get stung though. Volkanovski gets hit a lot in his fights. This Ilia Topuria gets hit a lot in his fights. I think Volkanovski is going to get stung. He's going to get stung bad. He won't recover. He's never had a good chin. Back since the Chad Mendes fight, the Jose Aldo fight, the first Holloway fight, especially the second, we've always seen him be rocked and rattled a wee bit. He's never had the best chin. Diego Lopez is going to knock out Volkanovski and become the new champion. And I do not believe Diego Lopez is as good as Holloway, Volk, McGregor, Topuria, Aldo, these former featherweight champions. However, I believe that I think he's going to beat Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski's style is very dependent on him having success. He knows how to fight on the back foot. However, Lopez will fucking catch him. Everyone rattles Volkanovski at one point in a fight. Whether it's a knockout blow or catching him clean, it will happen. And I think he's done. To be honest, I think he's done, and I really want to pick Volk. I watched a few of his sparring vlogs in his preparation for Topuria, and I know that was over a year and a half ago. He just didn't look good. He did not look the same. He's going to come out here and mix it up and have a proper MMA fight against Lopez, and he's going to get caught in a Darce choke by Diego Lopez after being rocked. Lopez is going to finish him in round 1. I can see this main card being one of the best main cards of the entire year. All finishes I can even see. Bryce Mitchell, Gene Silva's a fantastic fight. I've got Bryce Mitchell. I've got Pitbull beating Yair. Man, oh man, I just feel like... I wish Volk would just go and get a win, but I think Lopez is just going to catch him, and then I think Lopez won't defend the belt. I can just see Volk losing again and this being it, to be perfectly honest with you. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know you're probably saying, oh, but Volk this, Volk that. No, man. Volk is 36, 37. He's a very, very hard worker. He's in the shape of his life. However, the man's fragile at this age. He's got a really big chin and a big head, which has helped him up until this point, but naturally he's just... Guys, he's went to war with Makhachev, like a really tough, grueling fight where he was hit a lot. Got knocked out by a brutal head kick. 3-4 months later, gets knocked out by Topuria. It's over, guys. Like, Diego Lopez looked fantastic in the first round of his last fight. Then after that against Ortega, he did fade. He was always in control of the fight, but he just didn't look like a world champion, world beater. But I think he'll have enough for Volkanovski, and I think Lopez, who's dangerous on the ground, like Ortega, has got more power than Ortega, is more accurate, faster than Ortega. I think he has a lot of success against Volkanovski. He's a long, wiry, tall guy, which Volk's very good at dealing with. However, Diego Lopez does not mind being there. Topuria sometimes minds being there, and he waits. Lopez won't wait, and I don't think Volk's boxing is that good. Volkanovski's boxing is not his strong suit at all. He jabs with no power, he moves, kind of floats around, but his body and his style isn't built for that. People need to stop thinking Volkanovski is the same guy that fought the Korean Zombie. You know, that fought Max Holloway the third time. That's not him anymore. That was 3-4 years ago. The Volkanovski we're seeing now is the one that fought Makhachev the second time. The one that fought Topuria last time, who was doing really well in the first, but then was flattened. And this is his opportunity to come in and make history and become a featherweight world champion over the age of 35, which has never been done. And there's a reason it's never been done. Diego Lopez will finish Volkanovski quick. He's not going to be jabbing at Lopez without Lopez giving him a receipt, without Lopez feinting a takedown, without Lopez threatening something. I don't see how Volkanovski wins. He will get rattled at some point. He has every single fight. He's not changed his style. He's just fine-tuned things. It's time for us to accept as fans that the guard is changing. In a year or so, 8 of the top 10 lightweights won't be there anymore. You know? Right now, it's hitting that 10-year mark where all these guys that 10 years ago, like Volkanovski, were 26, 27, are now being taken over by Lopez, Topuria, all these younger guys, and it's sad. Soon, the whole sport will not look like how it looks now, and we'll be in 5 years' time, we'll be talking about the new era, and children will be talking about the new people, and just how life works. And we'll be the adults that grew up with Topuria and Holloway and Volk, and we're telling the stories of these people. Volkanovski is done. And I hope he wins. I pray he wins. I prefer him as the champ than Lopez. However, and he can beat Lopez if he goes out there and starts fast. However, he'll be doing his jabby-wabby thing, and I feel like Lopez could catch him in a guillotine and just sob him quick if Volk shoots. Volk shoots with his head on the outside. Whoop, snatch up that guillotine. I can see Volk sprawling and somehow Volkanovski not scrambling well enough against a long, wiry, slim boy like Lopez and being caught in a choke. I can see a shovel uppercut in the clinch and Volkanovski, everyone's like, oh, he's down! Why is it? What's happened here? And then he finishes him. Volkanovski's career ends tomorrow night, and it hurts to say. However, it's time we all accept that Alexander Volkanovski is no longer what he was, and Diego Lopez is not the man to beat Volk, because Volk's on a losing streak. However, he's the man to put the final nail in the coffin, I do believe, and Lopez has been active. He's shown a granite chin. He's shown to be very fucking dangerous. Diego Lopez is going to go out there and get it done. And I'm excited to see it. Thank you for watching, folks. Go down below and subscribe. How Volk can win is just doing what Volk does. It's a very similar game plan to how he did against Yair. Yair Rodriguez versus Volkanovski was a very, very telling thing of that Volk is a very mixed martial artist at a very high level. We know he's high level, but it's like he's levels above Lopez in terms of what he's capable of, in terms of mixing things up. However, he will get caught. Lopez is more dangerous at this point, you know. If this was 3-4 years ago, I'd be saying Volkanovski goes out there and absolutely demolishes him. However, now, Volkanovski won't be able to push like that because he'll be busy getting rattled. So, it's a shame, however. Congratulations in advance to Diego Lopez for your title. I'll be breaking the fights down tomorrow morning, or tomorrow night. Technically Sunday morning at like 6 AM after they happen. Wow. Cheers, boys.